Hello dear monks, a very warm greetings to all my dear friends on this Teachers' Day. Today, I am Riddhi Bhatt from the Department of English, Maharaja Krishnkumarsinhji, Bhavanagar University, take an opportunity to offer a very short video lecture on Kamala poetry and introduction. So let's start.
An introduction by Kamala. First, we take some introduction about Kamala, that who is Kamala. Kamala have a three names, that Kamala, Madhvikutti and Kamala Suraiya. So she was belongs to modern English literature. She was a we can say a prominent feminist voice in the post-colonial era. She was the mother of the modern English Indian poetry. She was a poet, novelist, short story writer. Many critics and writers say that she has also been linked to literary greats like Sylvia Plath, because we can say Kamala Das and Sylvia Plath, their writing style are very similar. Kamala Das was also claimed one time that poetry does not sell in the country, in India. These are some notable works of Kamala Das, and these are some awards of Kamala Das. So now we start this an introduction. An introduction is a one autobiographical poem by Kamala Das. It is a confessional in a tone and modern in style. It is blunt, we can say bitter and straightforward. The poem in a very cryptic and very dives deep way into the inner chamber of mind and digs out the real self, which generally remains subjugated. It is also contains some beautiful image and symbol, words and phrases. So let's read the poem first, and after we take some explanations. I am an Indian, very brown, born in Malabar. I speak three languages, write in two and dream in one. Do not write in English, they said. English is not your mother tongue. Why not leave me alone, critics, friends, visiting cousins? Every one of you, why not let me speak in any language I like? It is human speech, the speech of the mind that is here and do there. A mind that sees and hears and is aware, not the deaf, blind and speech of trees in storm or monsoon clouds or of rain or the inherent mutterings of the blazing funeral pyre. So here she has a great fascination for English language. She wants to reveal her dreams through this language, half English and half Indian. This language is honest and human, but the people of her house tell her not express her views. So in this English, she is fed up with such types of restriction posed by domination of patriarchy, and she is of the opinion that the language which a man speaks easily and conventionally must be free from clutch and restrictions. So here we can also say that despite the does and don't of the family members. Now take some another lines, that I was a child and later they told me I grew. For I became tall, my limbs swelled and one or two places sprouted hair. When I asked for love, not knowing what else to ask for, he drew a youth of 16 into the bedroom and closed the door. He did not beat me, but my sad woman body felt so beaten. The weight of my breast and warmth crushed me. I shrank pitifully. Dress in saris, be a girl, be a wife, they said. Be a cook, be a quarrel with servants, feet in. Oh, belong, cried the categorized. Don't sit on walls or peep in through our lace-strapped window. So here we can see that Despite the doesn't don't the family members, Kamala Das went on airing her views in English. She said that English voices her joys, her we can say longings, her hopes. This language is used for her as a cawing is crows or roaring to the lions, and we can yes. So now Kamala Das recalls her age when she is won the threshold of puberty, neither child or neither young enough to be married, but the patriarchy of her family member, her family's big, we can say father or any man person. So are married to a youth of 16, and these lines which deal with a truthful uh, portrayal of the sad woman body of Kamala Das, her plight under the patriarchal domination, her yearning for love and freedom. They also saw the miserable condition of an average Indian girl who is a married immature to an we can say unknown by the parents or the head of the family. Most of the parts of India where there is a girls are supposed to be an unwanted thing and they are treated as dolls in the hands of their parents. So they are viewed as burdens of the family. So head of the family wants to get the girl child, and then she was very immature and married also. So after we see this line, that an introduction, be a me or be Kamala or better still be Madhavi Kutti. It is time to choose a name, a role. Don't play pretending game. Don't play at or be a nympho. Don't cry amorously loud when jilted in love. I met a man, loved him. Call him not by any name. He's a everyman who want woman just as I am every woman who seeks love. In him the hungry hast of rivers. In me the ocean's tireless waiting. It is I would drink lonely. So well, the sentence he did not beat me is a very suggestive, and we can say that here in this stanza Kamala Das poetic excellence is worth noticing. It has both the thematic and linguistic integrity. In the thematic plan, it shows how the fate of woman it confined only to be a girl, a domestic wife, a cook, and quarrel, we can say, and also peeping through the window on the linguistic and stylist plane. So here there are major conflict of this, and yes, here again in this line we find the does and don't of the male dominated family. A woman in such a family is never allowed to play and cry loud when jilted in love. Then also he said that these lines are heavily punctuated. This has been deliberately done by the poet to show the various gaps and bumps in the path of the woman in masculine society. This unwanted and undeserving restriction made Kamala Das a rebel in her life, and she boldly asserts that she a man who has a love her. She has um, even to extend the man. Next we can see drinks at 12 midnight in hotels of strange towns. It is I who laugh, it is I who make love, and then feel shame. It is I who lie dying with a rattle in my throat. I am sinner, I am saint, I am the beloved and the betrayed. I have no joys which are not yours, edges which are not yours. I to call myself I. I have no joys which are not yours, no edges which are not yours. I to call myself I. So, in this line, we see the confession of Kamala Das on the metaphorical plane. Here, the word I represent the inner soul of Kamala Das. It may suggest the inner loneliness of an average woman who wants to be loved by her husband, free from the do's and don'ts, the categorize, and now the poetess has got what she wanted. But by doing so, she is both ashamed of any and happy, sinner and saint. So the poem is based on contrast that the husband represented the patriarchal society where a woman have little freedom, where they are caught in the walls of do's and don'ts, and if and we can say ifs and buts, right? So where they are not allowed to sit on walls or peeps in the through the window. In the other words, in the first part of the poem we get restriction and chains and walls. We also get here the animal like part of the poem has a cosmic love between the lover and the beloved, here the grief and sorrow. So we can also say that, and after this concluding part I want to say that thus the poem and introduction is a representative, confessional and autobiographical poem, and of a Kamala Das. It is a modern in both theme and technique, and also a very interesting poem. Now we see the themes of poem, and these are themes that man as the ruler of country, women are individuals too, poets struggle for freedom, her miserable married life, her struggle for the status of I. Now, Harish Raizada, who is a very famous English novelist, say about Kamala Das and her poetry that Kamala Das's poem of love and sex are categorized by emotional intensity and are among the best of her poems, with a frankness and openness unusual in the Indian context. She expressed her need for love. The vocabulary used is blunt and imagery, sensuous and flashy. The description of man-woman relationship include anatomical detail and body functions are expressed undisguised by metaphor or round said that. These are references, and that's all for this day. For more information, you can visit my blog riddhibhatt28.blogpost, and in this blog you will find a link to quiz. You can appear in this quiz and earn a readily good creative certificate. And all the best to you, and thank you.